As the summer sun shone brightly, a group of friends gathered for a beach day near a remote stretch of sand. Upon arrival, they spotted an unusual mound of black rocks near the water's edge. Curiosity drove them closer, compelling them to investigate the strange accumulation that seemed out of place against the golden sand. Their initial amusement turned to horror as they realized these were not rocks at all, but something far more grim. "Yo, check that out," Aman said as he pointed at the black rocks near the water's edge. He began to walk toward it, but his friend Anna tried to stop him, but Aman didn't hear her. Or at least he pretended not to hear her and got a little too close. His shuddering scream echoed across the beach, catching the attention of almost all the beachgoers. "My legs! My legs!" he yelled as he grabbed his foot with his hand, thinking he felt his warm blood running through his fingers. But it wasn't his blood. After that, Anna's face began to go blurry and sounds faded out. Then everything turned black. But what were those strange rocks? What happened to Aman, and will he get better? Before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Don't just stand there. Call an ambulance. Anna yelled at her friends, who were standing at their towels frozen in place. They quickly searched for their phones and dialed 911 at the same time. "How long until the ambulance arrives?" she yelled at her friends. They all yelled different times back at Anna, so that wasn't much help. Aman slowly began to wake up, but he soon began to grunt in pain again. Suddenly, someone in the distance began to yell in pain as well. Someone else had gotten curious and touched the black rocks. It was an older woman who immediately ran to the water to rinse off her hand. It seemed like the woman felt a bit better after rinsing off her hand. So Anna went to grab a bottle of water from her bag. She couldn't carry him on to the sea, so this was the next best thing. However, when she poured the water over his hands and feet, he began to scream in pain again, and it seemed like it only made matters worse. Anna didn't know what to do anymore, and Aman could see it on her face. Anna tried to get out of his way, but she was too slow, and Aman pushed her aside, leaving behind the black slime from his hand on her shoulder. She could feel the stinging sensation spread through her entire shoulder, and it felt like her skin was on fire. Her eyes began to well up with tears as she yelled out in pain. It was like a scene from a horror movie. More and more people began to yell and scream in pain, having touched the black rocks, and no one knew why. The ambulance finally arrived, lights flashing and sirens blaring. Paramedics jumped out, rushing to assess the situation. "We need more help!" one of them shouted into a radio, looking around at the injured beachgoers. Aman lay on the sand, writhing in pain, while Anna tried to soothe him despite her own agony. The paramedics started triaging, quickly realizing they were overwhelmed by the sheer number of people needing immediate attention. "We've called for backup," the lead paramedic announced, scanning the beach, "but it'll take some time." The beach had turned into a chaotic scene with people crying out in pain and confusion. Anna cradled Aman's head, trying to keep him calm. "Hang in there, Aman," she whispered, her own pain evident in her voice. The paramedics did what they could, but it was clear they needed more resources, and fast. "Help my daughter!" a frantic mother screamed, drawing the paramedics' attention to a little girl clutching her arm and sobbing uncontrollably. The paramedics rushed over, realizing she needed immediate care. "We're taking her to the hospital first," one paramedic said, lifting the girl gently. The mother followed, tears streaming down her face. As the ambulance doors closed, Anna and the others watched, hoping their turn for help would come soon. Aman's screams grew more desperate as the ambulance drove away with the little girl. "Please, someone help him," Anna pleaded, her voice cracking. The remaining paramedics tried to reassure her, but they were stretched too thin. Aman's agony was unbearable to watch, and Anna felt helpless. "We'll get you out of here, I promise," she whispered, holding his hand, feeling the heat and swelling from the black slime that covered it. One paramedic stayed behind, determined to understand what had caused this disaster. He approached the black rocks cautiously, wearing gloves and a mask. Kneeling down, he examined the substance closely, noting its strange, almost living quality. "This isn't natural," he muttered, taking a sample. As he worked, he kept glancing at the suffering beachgoers, knowing that uncovering the truth about these rocks was crucial to stopping the spreading pain. Anna's shoulder pain worsened with each passing minute. The burning sensation spread, making it hard for her to catch her breath. "It hurts so much," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. She tried to focus on Aman, who was still groaning in pain, but the agony in her shoulder was overwhelming. Every breath felt like fire, and she knew she had to do something fast before the pain consumed her completely. Desperate for relief, Anna stumbled toward the sea, clutching her shoulder. The black slime seemed to burn hotter with each step. "Hang on, Aman," she called out, her voice shaky. She waded into the water, hoping the salt water would help. The cool waves lapped against her legs as she sank to her knees, submerging her shoulder. She prayed for the pain to stop, gasping as the water touched the slime-coated wound. The seawater brought Anna some relief. She could feel the stinging sensation ease slightly, enough for her to catch her breath. "Thank God," she murmured, her mind racing. She splashed more water on her shoulder, the pain dulling a bit more. She looked back at the beach, seeing Amon still in agony. The seawater might be the key to helping him, but she needed a way to get it to him. Anna's eyes fell on a group of children playing with buckets nearby. They laughed, filling their buckets with water and building sandcastles. An idea sparked in her mind. That's it, she thought. If she could get those buckets, she could bring the seawater to Amon. This might be their chance to ease Amon's suffering. With newfound determination, Anna rushed to the children. Grabbing the buckets, she ran to the shoreline. She plunged the buckets into the water, splashing herself in the process. Her heart raced as she filled them and rushed back to Amon. She knelt beside him and began pouring the seawater over his back. It splashed over the sticky slime, slowly loosening it. Amon's breathing was labored, but the water seemed to ease some of the pain. Anna continued, rinsing the black substance away, her hands trembling. The red, irritated skin beneath gave her hope it was working. Meanwhile, a paramedic collected samples of these strange black rocks, sealing them in containers for analysis. "We need to know what this is," he muttered, watching the scene unfold. Sirens cut through the air. Ambulances arrived, their flashing lights bringing urgency and a sense of rescue. Paramedics fanned out across the beach, tending to the injured. Anna waved them over, guiding them to a mound. Police cordoned off the area, keeping others away from the mysterious rocks. Order began to return to the beach. Anna watched it disappear, hoping Amon would get the care he needed. A paramedic then treated her injured shoulder, applying a special solution before wrapping it securely. "This should help," he said. Anna winced, but nodded in appreciation. People helped one another. The worst seemed to be over for now. Anna accompanied Amon to the hospital, unable to bear leaving him alone. She stayed close as they wheeled him inside, her presence steady and determined. That evening, the beach incident made the news. An unusual event at a local beach has left several injured, the anchor reported as chaotic images flashed across the screen. She looked at a man sleeping restlessly and felt a deep need for clarity, not just for him, but for everyone affected. As she sat beside him, Anna noticed red, itchy spots developing on her hand. She scratched them absent-mindedly at first, but the irritation worsened. Alarmed, she flagged down a nurse. The nurse examined her hand quickly. "Let me get something for that," she said, returning shortly with a cooling ointment. Anna applied it and felt instant relief, but the worry lingered. That evening, she returned home, her thoughts spiraling. What were those things? She whispered to herself. She couldn't sleep. The next day, Anna returned to the hospital, her heart racing as she walked the sterile halls. "Please be okay," she whispered, pushing open Amon's door. She found him sitting up in bed looking far better than before. "Anna," he said, managing a weak smile. Relief swept over her. "You look so much better," she said, grateful. He nodded. "They've been taking good care of me." Anna remained beside him, knowing their journey wasn't over. The strange events had left behind more than physical scars. They had opened a mystery, still waiting to be unraveled. Around midday, a police officer arrived with updates. "We've identified the source of the slime," he announced. The strange rocks were revealed to be black spotted sea cucumbers. The officer continued. The sea cucumbers had expelled a toxin called holothurin as a defense mechanism. "It's designed to deter predators," he said, "but it caused severe reactions on human skin." Anna nodded slowly, the puzzle finally making sense. "So that's what burned our skin?" "Yes," the officer confirmed. "Even a small amount can cause intense pain and irritation." A man winced at the memory. "No wonder it hurt so much." Anna asked how so many sea cucumbers had ended up on the shore. "We don't know yet," the officer admitted. "It's rare to see them in such numbers." The mystery deepened. The police had no explanation for the mass appearance, but investigations were ongoing. "We've never seen anything like this before," the officer said. "Marine experts are involved now, but it may take time to understand what triggered it." Biologists arrived at the beach soon after, wearing protective gear and carefully removing the sea cucumbers. Onlookers watched as the animals were placed into containers and transported away. "They're being relocated to a safer habitat," the lead biologist explained. Anna felt reassured knowing professionals were managing the situation. "Hopefully this will prevent more accidents," she said. Eamon nodded, grateful the danger was being contained. A man and the other victims gradually made a full recovery. "You're healing well," the doctor told a man during a follow-up. Anna felt a deep sense of relief. The hospital buzzed with news of recoveries, bringing a sense of closure to the strange and painful experience. The beach remained closed until authorities declared it safe. Barriers and signs warned the public away, while lifeguards patrolled the area. Anna and Amon agreed the precautions were necessary. "Better safe than sorry," Amon said. Meanwhile, scientists and environmentalists launched further investigations into the sea cucumber's sudden appearance. "We need to understand what caused this," one researcher noted. News outlets covered their efforts, keeping the community informed. Anna and Amon followed every update, eager to understand the full scope of what had happened. Eventually, they returned to the beach together. The sand was clean, the sea calm. "It's good to be back," Anna said, smiling as she stepped onto the shore, they laid out their towels and sat quietly, appreciating the peace. "Here's to a fresh start," Eamon said, raising a water bottle. Their friendship deepened through the shared experience. They often talked about the incident, drawing strength from each other. "We've been through a lot," Eamon remarked, "and we're stronger for it," Anna replied. Their bond became a symbol of resilience, a reminder that support and connection could emerge even from crisis. Though the beach looked the same, the memory of that day lingered. Locals still spoke of it, trading stories and theories. Anna and Eamon became familiar faces in those conversations, quiet heroes who had faced the unknown and endured. "It's something we'll never forget," Anna said, gazing at the waves. The beach, once a place of danger, now stood as a testament to courage, friendship, and healing.